David Berlin with ZDNet. I'm coming to you from Interop in New York City. We're at the Javits Center on the west side of Manhattan. And when we think about video conferencing, it's very hot in the news these days. Hearing a lot of noise from, for example, Microsoft has built video conferencing, multi-point video conferencing that is, into their new live communication server. Cisco, obviously big name in the space with their telepresence system. We're looking at two very different approaches to video conferencing, but there's one company here who says they've got an even third approach that's just as good, maybe even better. Avistar is here, and standing with me is Simon Moss. He's the president of the company. And so, you know, a lot of noise in this space, a lot of big players. Avistar, maybe not all the people have heard about you. What is it that makes your solution better and merits the attention of ZDNet's audience?
Thanks for asking. Bottom line is our application is able to throttle back dynamically the use of bandwidth and the use of network. So a very, very big demand on bandwidth in a network is video. Our application allows that video to operate without the massive infrastructure stress that you'll get from traditional video products.
And this also does multi-point, right? So like, I imagine that if you've got 3 or 4 people coming into one solution, into your window, it's also adjusting to make
yeah, we have clients using this on 6,000 desktops all around the world in 40 countries. They can pull in up to 15, 16 people all within the same set of windows, talking to each other eye to eye in real time.
And what else makes the client unique?
We're able to embed this product into multiple different applications, whether that be a basic Microsoft application on the desktop, another communications application, an instant messaging environment. It's feasible to be able to plug into any application, including any household name that you hear.
Okay, so work with my existing messaging infrastructure.
Absolutely.
Like, let's say I'm using, IBM's got what, same time, right?
Yeah, we have an implementation with IBM same time at this point, and we're able to execute from the same time instant messaging to the video to come up in a box.
So let's take a look at it. How does it work here?
It's an application, so it's essentially software on a basic laptop or desktop PC. And you can see here as a presence, we have a few people examples. So throughout the world, we have a few people in New York, in San Francisco, and in London for this example. So if we were to dial a simple person, so a lady in San Francisco, we're dialing her now, this is Tracy Slagle. We're going through the public internet, and we can talk to her almost immediately. So at the moment, we're going over about 3,000 miles. At the same time, we can now dial up the New York boardroom and bring them in. So now I want to include some other people into the conversation. Now I also want to do the same thing and potentially bring up another person, but this time in London. So now we've got a distribution of about 6,000 miles instantaneously talking to people. And they're not just talking to me, they're talking to each other as well.
Okay.
So we're able to share information and bring everybody in. And this includes rooms, this includes desktops, this includes people in coffee houses or at airports. And it's all just software. You don't need to carry the big clunky server around that you've traditionally seen.
Now, one of the things I think I noticed as you're pulling more windows in is that the videos seem to sort of degrade in each window. Is that the dynamic sort of reallocation?
Yeah, we're allocating resources to maximize the quality of the picture. What we can do is we can increase resolution, and that really depends on how the client wants to see it, but we want to make absolutely sure we're not putting stress on the existing network that the client has.
Now, switched networks are a factor here, because if you're on a switched network, which a lot of clients are, they can't really see what's going on in the rest of the network. Do you guys like somehow look at latency or what's going on the other clients, and do they work together to figure that out?
Yeah, we do. Largely we work with our customers at the implementation to make sure that we clearly understand their policies and procedures, and then that's codified into the logic of the application, and then we work within that.
For example, like how much bandwidth of the underlying backbone you're going to let be allocated to this particular application?
It's literally a fire and forget environment where that's concerned. You put that in and then the application will run by itself.
And how many people are using this right now?
We have around 9,000 desktops currently operating. We estimate that it'll be about 50 million minutes of use this year. Next year we'll double that to about 90 million minutes of use.
And this, as we see, it's going over the public internet. It's actually pretty good. The performance is pretty good.
Yeah, we're very happy with it. It's about 10 years of work we put into this.
Final question, how much?
Oh, it's a fantastic value for money, that's all I can say.
Oh, you got to tell us how much, approximately how much does it cost to bring this in?
It's come down quite a lot over the last few years. We're looking at about the same price as a BlackBerry these days per user. So about 60 to 70 bucks a user is the price that we have.
Per year, per month, or just to take it in?
This is per month.
Okay. All right, well, Simon Moss, president of Avistar, thank you very much and good luck with the show.
Thank you very much for your time.
So there you have it. You know, there are a lot of different approaches to video conferencing. Some work, some don't, you know, or some may be using up too much network bandwidth. We have seen in our own testing at ZDNet how you can throttle network bandwidth consumption and actually get better results. We'll be talking about some of those solutions in future coverage, but here Avistar is doing it dynamically right from their client. For ZDNet, from Interop in New York City, I'm David Berlin.